especially when you're, riding a death machine that is, flammable liquid between your legs at high speed. you want to be objective.
Yeah, that's where logic comes into play. Right before your death, like 2 seconds before.
I should have gotten the Indian.
This is just
tell me it's not them trying to take business from the Dynas.
Yeah.
You can't. What's up?
What's going on, man?
Is it weird how I'm not like in a helmet or behind some bars?
I feel like we're like on this like awkward Bumble date.
Yeah.
So Tim, do you want to give a little intro about yourself?
Hey, I am Tim with NevermoreMoto, and I primarily ride a 2018 Triumph Street Scrambler. I also have a Ural with a sidecar, and today we're going to be talking about Indians.
Yeah, I've wanted to do this for a while just because the banter that we have back and forth, I think it's pretty good. And also, this is just like a different dynamic, which a lot of our
small displacement riders shit on other brands and other style bikes.
Yeah, exactly, right? What could go wrong? What could possibly go wrong there?
What? We have a tendency of, we'll even shit on each other's stuff for fun, but it's respectfully done.
Tastefully done. Mwah. Mwah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Something like that.
But yeah, let's talk about I mean it's been pretty big on the news. Indian Chiefs and
in 6 configurations.
So like that confused me too.
Mm-hmm.
And then you could get them all in like a the dark horse version.
There's 3 and 3, and I think this is the biggest difference in all of them is you have the main configurations of the Chief Lobber, the Chief Limited, but then you have the dark horse versions in those 3 options as well.
Yeah.
And what changes is the engine size goes from 111 to 116 cubic inches, and then you also get some more fancy features that we'll talk about with the Dark Horse series. So the thing we're probably most jealous about.
So like, first gut reaction from you. What was your gut take?
I mean, I honestly, I saw it and I thought it was actually a really interesting take on Indians bikes because it doesn't have the stupid, ugly, giant fenders that they're known for. It's stripped back. It's definitely, I took it as an attack on Harley's Dyna line. Because they kind of jumped in when Harley killed it, and there's a lot of people who are upset about that still. And it has, the twin shocks in the back. It's just an air-cooled engine. It's really simple, minimalistic, design features. And I think it's a bike that's made to customize. And I always appreciate something that's very minimalistic that I can take and make my own.
Yeah, that's what they're looking for. Like, they just want a stripped-down version so that they're going to do all the modding themselves. I was kind of on the fence when I first saw it. I was like, but then I saw like one of their videos. It's on their Facebook. Wait, let me see if I can pull it up.
Like I'm watching Hangover Part 4, man. We're the 3 best friends that anyone ever had.
I could see a parody from this. Yeah. Of course. Horseshoes.
Horseshoes. Which feels like the Three's Company music in the background. Come on, knock on my door.
The all-new 2022 Indian Chief. Get lost and found at the same time.
But everything I've seen in the advertising, hey man, I just got off my barista shift. Let's go play some horseshoes and grab a seat.
The horseshoe was random. I was like, where am I ever gonna find a horseshoe?
You just don't have horseshoes? I moved on to the beanbag toss. what's that called?
Oh, you simple white man. Just give him some bean bags and then he'll be happy. Cornhole, yeah.
The marketing is funny. It really is. They're taking more of the approach of it's not a lifestyle, but it's a bike you can jump on for a nice excursion. It's versus Harley has a tendency of being like, this is the end all be all bike. You're gonna jump on this. You're gonna join the hog chapters. It's a lifestyle. You're gonna live and breathe Harley. And Indian's like, hey man, fun. Hop on the bike.
It's just
Go
a
for
bike.
some dinner.
I've never really liked any of the marketing. I mean, with Harley and Jason, how MotoJohn calls him Mimosa. I've just started calling him Mimosa ever since. The only thing that kind of gets me is like their mantra about like just traveling and adventure. Okay, I get that. That's what I want. You and I talked about it a lot. I haven't seen a whole lot from Indian. The only commercial, like the few little Facebook ads that I've seen, doesn't really speak to me. Cheesy motorcycle leather jackets. Like I'm like,
a little too stylish, like, maybe.
Where's the black? Like I don't see anybody in black.
Danger.
Yeah. I want to die like today.
Yeah. You're giving me soft, cuddly kittens. I just want to die.
Yeah.
Come on, gravestones and black leather.
Yeah. The marketing is just a little too broad. Like you're not going to get them all. So like you almost kind of have to play to the lowest common denominator, I feel like, when you're marketing, which is why it always comes out cheesy.
So what's Indian's lowest common denominator?
You wear I don't know. You wear leather. You wear some like canvas shoes, like no name brand.
Pumpkin spice could be nice.
Yeah, dude. I actually don't. I love PSL.
You're not helping me here. Especially the hardcore Harley rider.
PSL on a nice cold, crisp fall day. Oh man, can't beat it. Speaking of Dyna Bros, I think it's worth showing. I've showed this before.
Boom.
I could totally see Dyna Bros like gobbling this up.
Oh yeah.
I mean, my inner Dyna Bro is triggered right now too. Like I am all over this. The color, I'm not.
Awesomeness.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of the color, but like, dude, this is just sick.
Tell me it's not them trying to take business from the Dynas.
Yeah.
You can't. I mean, that bike is. When you showed me the picture originally, I didn't do it. Look, they even changed it to a chain. Look at that.
Chain conversion.
But yeah, I assumed it was like a lowrider S.
For me, it was hard to envision like what this bike could look like until I started snooping around for more photos, and I was like, okay, I get it. Yeah. This could be pretty huge.
Okay. So we've been teasing some of the technology going into these bikes. And I think the biggest one that turned our heads was the 4-inch digital touchscreen nav system that they put into these new Indians.
So yeah, I thought about that too, and I was like, I just thought it was wild how a simple touchscreen nav like this could blow our minds on a bike. Like this isn't like necessarily new technology, right? For some reason, this done well on a bike, it's kind of like just blowing our minds.
Well, we even had conversations about like going on rides and like, well, who's going to bring the nav set up with them, or are they just running it off your phone? You don't have to worry about that. It's right on your dash, right where it should be, right where it needs to be. It keeps you off the phone. It keeps you from having, you've talked about your Harley and how much it shakes, and having those mounts destroy your phone over time. And now you don't have to worry about that. Just look how clean it is when you look at it on the bike itself. It's
this
small
picture right here. Oof, man.
Yeah, it's the cockpit, man. It is totally unobtrusive. It's in the perfect placement. You can't go wrong. It's a beautiful addition to these bikes.
How are you gonna fit that when you put T-bars on this with the Dyna Bros?
the gauge, if it's not in that nav mode, you can still set it up for light mode or dark mode, and it's very basic, but it's everything you need.
I think and
to be able to switch back and forth, it's great.
Yeah, I think what the reason why the gauge I think blew both of our minds is not just, like I said, it's that this technology has existed, but it's just the way that they executed it, and also it's kind of symbolic about Indian versus Harley. Like they're constantly, it seems like they're turning the wheel, trying to get something new, something fresh. Whereas I watched the Harley product launch for new paint. There you go, like ta-da. You know what I mean? That was
we're
like,
done.
yeah,
Innovation.
and of course, like, yeah, they're gonna come out with the Pan Am. I get it, but like, you know, the first product launch, like you think that they want to put their best foot forward. Indian seems like they're making some big strides, man.
Yeah,
Dude, that looks hot.
It does, and they're already coming out with I think it's 80 different pieces right off the line.
Yep,
They're going to introduce this bike in April, and right off the line they have 80 different things that fit on every single one of the bikes to customize it. So some of those cool like you know, bobber style seats to racks to bags to handlebars. You know, hopefully they're smart and they're talking to other companies like you know, Memphis Shades to maybe get some shades made and fairings made for these style bikes.
Esports, yep.
Yeah,
Esport
I mean,
fairing.
Perfect.
As we keep talking about it, like I get more and more convinced.
You always talk about how you love Harley and how they do color. And I don't think Indian gets enough credit for what they do with color, because I think they're more subtle in what they do.
For sure.
And not necessarily in the colors, but in how they finish the colors. Like if you ever look at any of their matte finishes up close, it's really subtle metallic, and it's almost like a haze across it. And it's not quite matte like Harley does their denim colors. They're a little, you know, glittery, and there's a finish to it that looks really nice if you get close, but you have to get really close to an Indian to see that finish. But that color is spectacular.
That's a super fantastic color. The thing that I liked about my Harley was that the charcoal denim color, and like in different lights, sometimes it looked black, sometimes it looked gray, sometimes it looked silver. I could totally see that happening here. Yeah, you got like a lot of different shades happening. I mean, kudos to Indian.
Try to color match that on a fairing.
Yeah.
I'm not into color matching. I'm colorblind. I can't do that. I will say there is one thing we didn't touch on, and that is the gas tank.
Yes, the gas tank. That's a big miss right there. I think maybe the only miss that I've seen from Indian is that like how many? What is it? 3 or 3.5?
I think it's actually 4, but it only gets 45 miles to the gallon, basically, which is a huge miss, because I think it's too big of a bike to have go not far.
That's one of the reasons why I want to move up to a bike, a bigger bike, because, you know, I have to go like 120 miles before I need to fuel up. That gets old really fast, especially when you're trying to.
It's fine on the bike that you're on, because your bike is not made to be a 4 or 5 hour in the saddle kind of bike. But this bike should be a 4 or 5 hour bike, and it's not. They made a 2 hour bike.
That's a big miss. I don't know. I think people will overlook it. I mean, the Street Bob only has, I think the Street Bob is like a 3.5 gallon tank. Yeah, people still buy it.
This is more of a me issue than a you issue for sure, because I have a scrambler and I have spoked rims, and spoked rims suck. I hate when people pitch, this is the premier package, so it has spokes. No. You don't tell me worse wheels are premier.
I've never been a fan of spoked wheels, to be honest.
They have a purpose, but on this bike, other than classic, you know, the heritage that they speak of,
I'm definitely a fan of the aluminum wheels. On the Chief model, which is like a lower base model, you get the better wheels.
Yeah.
Like,
but you get fatter tires, which is kind of cool with the spokes, but
I don't know how I feel about the fatter tires either, though.
They have a purpose. They absorb and make it more comfortable ride.
A little bit more tougher for handling, but yeah, exactly. Yeah. Final thoughts. You go first.
Final thoughts. Does it do it for me? I don't know. I think I'm in a place where I know within the next couple of years I'm going to want a touring motorcycle. You know, we both have, I wouldn't say small displacement. I mean, we're both in the 900 range on our bikes. But if I want to do cross country, and that's definitely a goal, I'm going to want something either mid-size or up. I don't see myself as a bagger. I don't see myself as someone with a huge fairing in the front. And the fairing is really what bothers me more than the bags itself. Bags are actually very helpful.
You don't like the fairing?
I don't like fairings. I'm not a fairing guy. I don't like the Chieftain. I don't like the street
whoa,
glide.
whoa.
I don't like those massive fairings. It's just not for me. I like the wind in my hair. I like,
I'm getting. Oh yeah, your beautiful hair, like
my beautiful mane.
Yeah.
But like all the doodads and stuff, I'm just not a fan of. I like simplistic. If I'm gonna listen to music, it's gonna be in a headset in my helmet. I'm not one of those guys who's gonna blare. No one wants to hear me cruising down the street blaring my Kid Rock. Yeah.
So that's how you feel now, though. Like,
when you envision that old man bike, what do you envision?
It's gonna be a road glide for sure.
Okay. See, I picture old man bike. I picture Goldwing.
A Goldwing. Oh, maybe.
Plush, comfort, power.
Sounds like you've written an ad or two.
Yeah, but they've done a good job. It's a good bike. It's a great platform to start from, and I think that is what a lot of people are going to take away from this. It isn't necessarily what the bike is now, but what the bike could be. And I think it is a great starting platform for a really cool bike. You're going to want to make it your own, but you're going to do that anyways. So to make something so stripped back, I mean, it's the same reason the Street Bob always did so well for Harley. Is no one ever buys a Jeep to leave it stock. No one buys a Street Bob. You ever see a stock Street Bob? That's stupid. So I think it's the same thing with these bikes. It's made to customize. They did a good job coming out with 80 different parts on release, which is in April on these bikes, that are going to be available right when it releases, so you can customize it right away. And that's awesome.
When you're growing up and you have like really bad parents, I don't know what your home situation was like. And you always had a friend down the street who had like awesome parents. And like, everyone has a friend that had like really awesome parents. Like they gave the kid whatever they wanted. I feel like Harley Davidson is kind of like, like a parent, right? Like that's the brand affinity that I have.
Dishing out the little crumbs.
Yeah.
Slowly, you don't get this, but when you do, you're gonna appreciate it more.
Got good grades, please. New colors.
You're gonna take it and like it.
Indian is coming out. They are the good parents. They're listening to their customers. They are putting innovation out there. I'm jealous as a Harley enthusiast. As consumers, it's good that we're getting some competition for Harley. But to me, I don't know how this is good for Harley. You know what I mean?
Especially since it's a Dyna copycat.
This is a generalization, but I don't think I've seen anybody who says I love Indian, but I'm swaying to Harley. So I don't see how this could be possibly good for Harley. No,
I think we meshed well, though. I think this was good.
Yeah. You pretend like you are some, babbling, like, well, maybe that was my perception.
You come off as a moron, but
I know it's pretty bad, but I was trying to like peg you, right? Like, okay, this guy's from Baltimore, got a bunch of tattoos. I don't. But then you start talking about motorcycles, and like you really know your stuff, man.
You do. I mean, we both. I think we both share that we can appreciate other brands. You come off. You say you're a Harley guy. You are a Harley guy. You have the Harley, but you can appreciate other bikes. And
yeah.
I think being able to talk about stuff and objectively, decide, things that are good and bad about everything is important. I mean, especially when you're, riding a death machine that is, flammable liquid between your legs at high speeds. you want to be objective.
Yeah, that's where logic comes into play. Yeah. Oh man, right before your death, like 2 seconds before.
I should have gotten the Indian.
Huge mistake. Oh man, these spoke wheels.